God and Me, and I'm your host, Mary Amy, coming to you live. I agree with the notion of compassion to all living things. We are all connected. Our actions matter. Karma is a cycle of cause and effect. Virtuous actions create happiness, and non-virtuous actions create suffering. The forces of good and evil are prevalent in our daily lives, yet angels are celestial, benevolent beings traveling from the heavens to earth, protecting humanity. Perhaps the conversations of angels with humans throughout history suggest existence. Those prophets and saints, speaking of divine visions, delivered messages of hope. Truly, with hope, we can endure most anything we encounter. Well, on our show, we have guests, topics related to ethereal beings, myths, legends, psychics, empathy, signs and messages from the universe, UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot investigators. Now, today's show, we have a really fantastic, well-known psychic medium, Joan Carra, and she will be giving readings, and she will be telling us all about fortune telling and numerology and palm reading and tea leaves. Now let's do a relaxation visualization before our guest comes on. We will create vivid mental images in our mind's eye, bringing positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope. Okay. Blessings. Our intention today is to awaken our consciousness through a source of light. Let's realize connecting the mind, body, spirit to divine light will shed darkness in yourself and unblock your true purpose and potential. Your light source visualization begins now. I'd like you to find a quiet space, lay down or sit comfortably. Now let's close our eyes and begin to relax our body and mind. Let's breathe out old energy and thoughts before this moment. I'd like you to deeply breathe, inhale and exhale 3 times. I'd like you to scan your body for stress from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes. Now let's feel the relaxation and the peace. And I'd like you to imagine that you're standing on a green meadow surrounded by flowers of vibrant colors, yellow, purple, red, white. And as you see these flowers, your intention is to reach down and grab one. You pause before pulling it out from the field, realizing that it's too beautiful to take, and you acknowledge the beauty of nature. You leave the flower. Now your attention draws you to an extraordinary beam of light in the distance. You see this translucent light on the horizon. It's not giving off any heat, and the light calls to you, and you start to walk towards it through the field of flowers. As you move closer, you're not sure how long it will take, but you know that you are destined to reach it. Now, as you walk, you start to shed any kind of stress or anxiety that you have in your body, and you're letting go. You feel free and alive, and you understand the need for its presence in your life. To this light, you are perfect and forgiven for all your flaws. You breathe out old hurts and anxiety and fears. If you need to, use your words and say whatever it is that is bothering you, and let's let go of anxiety and the chaos and bring peace into your heart. I'd like you to stay in this moment of acceptance and contentment. You are exactly in the right place. You're perfect the way you are. I will count backwards to 3 and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for joining me with that. Okay, I'd like to, before we have our guest, I would like us to just say a Buddhist prayer. And let's focus on the meaning. This is generating the 4 immeasurables. The immeasurables are loving, kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity, which is calmness. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from misery. May no one be separated from their happiness. May everyone have equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. Thank you. Okay, now, so today's topic is about the supernatural. Now, the supernatural is the I can't say this word right now. The recognition of the manifestation or event attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature. So it encompasses all entities, immaterial beings like angels, gods, and spirits. It includes human abilities, telekinesis, precognition, and extrasensory perception. There are different forms of fortune telling, and one is palm reading, which our guest knows how to read palms. And I have this here, which is a little statue of, our palm and what the different lines mean. And palm reading is the art of interpreting a person's character by examining their palm, the palm of their hand. And now another form is numerology. Now, numerology is the significance of numbers, the divine or mystical relationship between numbers and coinciding events. And we're going to talk about that as well. I'm just in my mind, I'm like looking around. What exactly am I trying to find right now? And I forgot to bring in a teacup, but tea leaves is interpreting the lines formed or symbols of tea leaves in a cup. And Joan also knows how to do that. And she is a medium, and mediumship sees and communicates with the spirit worlds, receives and relays messages to the living world. So our guest today is medium psychic Joan Carra, and she grew up in a metaphysical family, so psychic phenomenon felt natural to her. And she's been identified in 7 books because she's such a prominent psychic in the United States. The 100 top psychics in America, she was named. She's been interviewed by many medias, the Wall Street Journal, the Daily News, and many others. She's a teacher at institutions like the Edgar Cayce Center in New York City, the well-renowned Sedona Creative Life, the Wainwright House here in Rye, New York. Now, she's a gifted medium. She does seances, reads tea leaves, numerology, and gives predictions. So we're going to welcome Joan Carra to the show.
Hello, and thank
How
you for
are
this opportunity.
Sorry?
I said thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much. And you're in a fellow township. You're in Greenwich, not far from me.
Yeah, just what, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, 20 minutes. Joan, it's exciting. You know, I heard so much about you in the psychic metaphysical circles in my area in Westchester, New York. So I had heard of you, and I did some psychic fairs, and I know you were at them as well in New York City and some other locations in the tri-state area. So thank you for joining us. And we have lined up possibly a caller and you're going to give me some kind of reading.
Sorry.
Whoops! This is what happens with technology. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, okay. So, could we get right into it, and you tell me all about some future predicting? I read that you've conducted seances. So how did that first happen, and what was that like for you? Because we see this in movies. It's an old age way of fortune telling with the crystal ball, and then you communicate with spirits. Can you tell me about that, and what's that all, what's that experience like?
Actually, when I first started, I was working at a restaurant, and one of the waitresses, a lot of times the staff would want a reading. She asked me, "Do you ever get any names?" And I never connected with names, so I said, "No." She said, "Can you try?" I said, "I see the letter S for Steve." So she guided me. I really wasn't even at the time when I began 27 years ago. Very few psychics were doing mediumship. So she said, "What's the message?" So I gave her a very pertinent message about love, and she says, "Well, that's important to me because Steve's in a coma from a car accident." And I was getting visibly upset. And then months later, she told me it was her son, and he
Oh.
passed. So, but it freed me up to next time I was at a party, if I heard a name, I would just say it and say the message. And I was so stunned that people would say, "Yes, I know that person." And one time I got a very unusual name, which I was not an everyday name. And I was at a big party. You have to be a fun psychic, and the woman started to gasp, pant, and I said, "I can't have this lady cry." And she did say it was her best friend who passed the year before. So I was stunned because unlike other, now it's in vogue, and now there's all these classes. I know so many people taking classes in mediumship, and I said, "I never took a class. I just did it." The same thing with palm reading. Now, as a kid, I would read the books of palm reading, but I didn't consider myself a palmist. I was just starting out, and I was hooking up with party agents. So, oh my goodness, it was an agent called me and said, "I have a palm reading job for an hour. It's $100." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's exciting." I said, "Well, I'm not a palm reader." He said, "You're a psychic, aren't you?" So I took the job. And I knew the basic lines, but everything was hitting me. Like I would look at it, I would get the meanings and the pictures. Now I'm a bit visual. So I was trained I took classes in art and in poetry. So looking at a symbol and interpreting it was easy for me. I was also good at math, so that's why numerology I love. But I I think that helps. Especially, I grew up with my aunt reading coffee grinds, and oh my goodness, it's a funny thing. So, and of course, I do the tea leaves. Um, it's a little picture, and sometimes you see a number, you see a letter. If you see a bird, then you can say travel, right? The main thing for when I teach psychic development is the game we played as children, free association. Even yeah, um, that opens it up because that's how I work. Even at a psychic fair, I may hear somebody next to me say a word and it's like a yellow highlighter, and then I'll use that word in my head and I'll play off of it and get messages.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, you came from a family of psychics? Was your mother psychic or your father?
Yeah, my mom used to have prophetic dreams of who was going to die. That's not a talent you want because you can't stop it. You
That's
can't do
horrible.
Yeah. So she had dreams. My dad had just a big collection of the books. I later found out that his mother was also had visions. So that's from the grandmother's side. And my aunt came in and she would read the cards 9 to the ace. It wasn't tarot.
Right.
And I read with very little symbols on my cards. So, and I had to even create even newer symbols because we live in a newer world, with technology and things like that. And of course, a good psychic, I always tell, like when I meet tarot readers, young ones, I
Mm.
say, listen, look away from the cards. You can't just tell the client this is what the picture looks like.
Mhm.
So look away,
Mhm.
because that develops more of the message.
Mm. I might want you to mentor me so I get farther
Oh,
advanced.
it's funny. I was thinking the same about you. You
You
had
were?
such a beautiful meditation. And when you said don't pick the flower, I was like, wow, she's right. And that flower was so happy I didn't pick it. And I'm
Mm.
one of those people who's a bit of I work with positive energies
Mhm.
teaching my clients, but for myself,
Mm.
I'm not always there for me. And when I was listening, so what a way to wake up. I'm not waking up with that.
Mm.
So I said, I need her to teach me that
We can
meditation
train.
to Mary every morning because I'll be a happier person.
Well, what I learned was the first thought that we have when we wake up can change everything. It can send us in a different direction. So if we go to a source of light, which is what I'm working on these motivational speeches about, and this new show that's going to be on Twitch TV, which is Signs and Messages of Light. It's about light. It's about starting with light. And look, everything can take its form throughout your day. It's just going to be on a more positive note. And what's so interesting is if you're really conscious and you transform and train your brain to start in a certain direction, it's funny, it's going to bring more good energy and people into your life. It changes everything, and it's your perception. Let's face it. So okay, now how about if you, before we have our caller, we're supposed to have a caller in a little while. How about if you can you give me a quick read? Anything?
I won't leave the show unless I read you.
Okay. So
all right, first let me do your birthday. What's your birthday, Mary?
8/15, August 15th. That's my lucky number.
Well, the wonder you're doing all this work because the 8 is the manager, the bit of the workaholic, but you're very good with like even the details and executive ability and getting things done. Now the 15 is the 6th, the nurtured, and you're a mom, and it's the family energy. It's you nurture your people, your guests, so you have this beautiful energy. Now I'm going to add that to this year, which is the 4-year 2020. 2 plus 2 is 4. 8 and 6 is 14. Oh, you're in the 9 year. Okay, we go 1 through 9 when we personal year. So with the 9, this year is about finished completion. It is about art, publishing. I know you have a book, but if you're publishing articles, humanitarian energy, and I think you're a teacher. I think that's your everyday motive. And next year you start new things. Okay, is that when you're starting your new show? Yeah, next year, right?
In January, I'm planning on it. You know, I got to get my whole set figured out.
No. That's what we want. I would have told you don't do it this year, do it next year. But in one sense, you could have done it this year because it's a continuation.
It's almost over this year.
Right. But this year is about finishing, even declutter and things like that. It's about hooking up with humanity. Next year, promoting yourself on an independent level. Now, may I ask your year of birth?
No, we're not talking about.
All right, can't talk about it, but be proud of it because it's okay. But that's just numerology. Now it gives us timing. A lot of times when people want to buy or sell a home, I'll look at that. Of course, you have free will. You could do whatever you want. But I do find certain things when you keep pushing for something that it's not the timing, it doesn't happen, or it happens, but it doesn't work out. So that like the 9 year, if you wanted to start something new, it may be temporary because it's the year that ends things. Okay. Now, let me tune into other things.
Okay.
I'm getting a lady. It's the lower belly or womb. I don't know if anyone had problems with intestines or the womb. It could be someone who passed or even now. Anybody who had maybe surgery or
I've had my mother had something, and You're talking about not some kind of disease or
No, they didn't die from it, but they
right.
have it that if they pointed here, oh, you can't see. If they pointed to that area, you would say, "Oh, I know who that is." Now, but she's okay with it. But does she have to be careful with what she eats?
Okay, you could be talking about one of my daughters because she
Oh,
has an intestinal issue.
that's
And
it.
she has to be careful. Yeah, that's what I think
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah.
She has
Now
to be careful.
this
She has
is
to be
wasn't
careful.
alive, but sometimes if I keep going, I'll get people
Yeah.
pissed. Yeah, but your daughter is dairy or milk bad for her? Because I get some people.
I think it's certain foods. I'm not even sure because I know it's changed her diet. She
Oh,
does. She doesn't have. She's not. She does not have a lot of dairy.
good, good, good. She could have it occasionally, but I'm hearing that. But I get this hooks up with a person who passed who may have had something similar. I don't know if it's a genetic thing.
It is a genetic thing. It could be a number of people actually.
Oh, okay. So you had that in your family.
We
Yeah.
have that in my family.
All right. So you may want to look up Louise Hay, what the symbolism of the stomach, what she may
Okay.
keep her emotions in.
Okay.
You know what I ask my clients if they have a medical or condition? I always say when it started, what was happening to you emotionally? You
Mm,
may want to look at that with your daughter. You don't have to do this now, but
yeah.
think about it because
Yeah.
there may be an issue she didn't bring it up. She puts a lot of pressure on herself with
Mhm.
school, right?
This is my other daughter. For work,
Oh,
she does.
she
Yes. For her
what?
work, she does. Yes. She's
Like
very much, she's
be much
very, I'm a little bit more like free and not loosey goosey, but a little bit more wishy washy. I don't hold on to things too tight. I think, I mean,
more.
that's common. That's common.
Yeah, she's a perfectionist. Now,
Yes,
I was hoping
breakfast.
to do people's spirits, but the energy of your children are coming in because that means the energy is like that right now. They're in transition,
Mhm.
they're new opportunities. I know there's challenges,
Mm.
especially young people don't want to be cooped up in the house. That's the last thing. Uh, why do I see nuns? Did you go to Catholic school?
I went to Catholic college, and
Oh,
I went to College of St. Elizabeth in Convent Station, New Jersey, and I
oh,
even considered being a nun at one point. I think
all
I should
right,
be
that's where I
a
got
nun.
the nun energy. Wow, because well, there's a nun energy. Either it's one of the teachers or an actual like a saint or a nun that you're connected to with the story of their life. Does that make sense?
Um, n-
Not really.
well, no, I mean, I have not an. Are you talking about a nun that I was at that school I
No,
went?
it would either be a nun you actually met or an old saint or a nun who became a saint, like a story of their um their life inspired you. And I think part of it is the contemplation because you go very deep inside your soul. And example you just started with the Buddhist prayer, and I think you have that ability uh to connect with this meditative people, and now it's yeah.
Well, there's a couple of avenues this could relate to. First off, I wasn't the only one who went to that school. My mother did, and both my grandmothers.
Oh
And
wow.
yes, and so I don't know if it could be generational catch you're getting. And then also, I have studied many saints,
That's
and I do speak of St. John's mother and the Virgin Mary and her mother. So I don't know if that could be part of it. And then
oh,
there's
okay.
also St. Teresa of Avila, and she had visions. So
Yes, that's good. That's what I
right.
was.
So there's a lot of divine energy that surrounds me because of my thoughts and what I'm really trying to present to the world.
Well, they were all around you, so you could always ask for help. But I get the sense that even as a child, you were visionary and connected and had guardian angel. So you've had that for a while. I actually have some cards. I'm going to see if I could do the cards with you. You see, they're just a regular deck, half a deck. The man with the salt and pepper hair connects to you. He's around you.
He passed away?
No, I think it's your husband. You
My
married?
husband.
What?
I don't have a husband.
Oh, you don't have a husband?
Not right now.
But
Maybe one day again.
he's very tall, and he's
Oh, let's see if this is the girl. Can we get back to that and just see if this is the caller? I'd love to.
Oh, yeah.
Hello? Yes. Okay. Are you calling in for a psychic reading, medium? Right. Okay. So I'm gonna put you on a speaker and let's see if she can hear you. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Can you? This is Deborah. Deborah, meet Joan.
Hi, Deborah.
How are you?
Oh, good. I could hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, so here we go.
So we want to do the medium. Okay, let me tune in. Ooh, I think this is.
I hear you, but actually, you know what? Let me just let me change to. Okay, maybe I can hear you better now. Okay,
that's louder.
I felt very heartfelt of a recent passing because I felt some grief, like tears and grief. So maybe within the year you may have someone left, or it's just something where you didn't get over. It takes a while. You have somebody who left recently, and you're still brokenhearted, and it does take time to heal. And also, spirits don't want you to live in grief the rest of your life. Now, I wonder if that. I get more of a woman. I get a lady who passed, and she keeps going. Mm-hmm. Yes, she keeps holding her head. Yeah. I don't know headaches.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear right now, Deborah, or is it not? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. She said she's saying that she's holding her hands to her head. The woman.
And she has headaches or something in the head. What? Yes or no?
She had pancreatic cancer.
No, never tell the psychic that. Okay. Then you walk away saying, well, I told the medium everything. So you always want to be a stoic, a poker face. So what you want to do is that spirit that I was getting holding the head may know the lady pancreatic and bring her in. So there's another person there, think about it, who had some problems with the head. Okay, so think about that person before we go to the other one. But now that you want is the pancreatic person recent?
She was March 2019. But when you say hold her head.
Oh, used to hold her head?
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, it's much longer. Like, you said it's holding her head.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I put my two hands on my head, and everything was about hands on the head. Okay. But always don't jump the gun, because let us do the work. We have to prove it to you. And so this is very recent, and she suffered a lot. I don't want to say she suffered a lot. It was of course we miss her.
Yeah, she said it was true. She did suffer a lot.
Okay, but she says she's free of that, and she has a dog she likes to groom. So was she someone who had a pet dog at one point, or she's good with animals?
Ironically, no, we're not animal people.
You're not animal
people.
Did she grow up with an animal?
Like used to it.
Okay, but there's an animal. Maybe she grew up with it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
She's saying, did you grow up with an animal? I'm so sorry that this is like, I'm interrupting the reading.
That's okay.
It's fine.
All right.
It's fine. It's just that it's not a, what's the word? It's not, I can hear you. I think it's because of maybe the speakerphone. It's like it cuts out sometimes.
All right. You know what?
I
also, all right. All right, Deborah, I'm just seeing the pictures. I see a foot. Somebody has a problem with the foot, not leg, foot. Who's that? And they could be living. Who's the person with the foot?
Problem with the foot. There's so many of them. It could be my son. It could be my father-in-law.
But they both have something like that. Okay. This is someone who has the jaw. Maybe it was the person with the pancreatic. It was getting hard to speak. And they were feeling, it could be the tension of the neck, or anybody have this thing they wore a neck brace or a neck collar?
No, I mean, she might have had neck and back pain.
But no, yes or no. So let's say no. Now it could be connecting to Mary. Sometimes you're getting more than one person. So if Mary has it, she'll let us know. Okay. And I get the impression. Wait, hold on. Somebody here is
My
good
father
with
had the
your father had the neck brace? Okay. Yeah, that's why you know,
I'm in the reading now.
now I had a crazy story. I was at the New Life Expo in Florida. So I'm describing in the group a gentleman who has a limp and he's changing his career. And nobody's raising the hand except the monitor says, "Oh my God, that's my boyfriend. He's in the next room as a monitor." She walked out, went across the hall, came back in, and all of a sudden, a man comes in limping. And everybody starts to pull screaming. And he says, "Yes, I am changing my career." And then I read his father. Sometimes it's, even though we want to just focus on Deborah, I open a door and say, "You're all invited." And they come in.
Right.
So that's what, and you know, when I do a group seance, I used to try to get the spirits to be organized and stay online. They don't do that. They jump around. And it's just so funny. All right. So let's get back to you now. Mother energy. So is it mom who passed from the pancreatic? Yes or no?
Deborah, can you hear her?
Did you say mother energy, pancreatic cancer? I don't know. I think that's what I heard.
Yes. Is it your mom who passed away?
No, my mother-in-law died of pancreatic cancer in March. My mother died.
Oh, don't tell us. Don't tell us. Because you walk away. Remember, we have to prove to you that we got them. But if you tell me, right? Now you're going to tell me.
Right.
All right. So I heard the word mother. It was mother-in-law. Sometimes we don't get the exact, but I knew it was a mother energy. Okay. Ice skating. I don't know who that is. Maybe somebody was doing some ice skating. Maybe it's Mary's kids. Okay. Was it Mary's kids or ice skating?
Well, they love ice. The one loves ice skating, but
I didn't say they did it professionally, but it comes up. Okay, let me get to don't forget, Mary is this watery energy of, she's all vibration. I'm surprised she's in human form. Okay, let me get back to Deborah. I'm gonna invite your mom in, okay? And they show me beautiful hand with rings. Your mom loved rings? Or your mother-in-law? Who's the one?
I don't think she loved rings especially. I think it was the opposite. She barely wore them.
All right. Then I'm getting more of Mary. Is there someone with like a lavender purple amethyst ring or something? Big rings. Like these are rings like custom jewelry or real. All right.
Mother does. My mother does. That's my mother, except my mother is alive.
That's okay. It's
that's why you're getting. I'm sorry, Deborah. I'm like infringing on your reading right now.
This is something where maybe I have to study with someone who knows how to cut them off. Say,
no, you were starting connected to me before she came on. That's what I think happened.
Nah, it's just the vibration. All right, let me get to
I'll just move back.
Yeah, sometimes I do that in a seance. I'll have people switch seats so I could really look in their eyes. Now, I don't have to see Deborah visually because I do this on the phone all the time, and a lot of them people were like, "Can't you're gonna do Zoom or FaceTime?" I said, "No, I like not having the information of the client, how old they are, do they have a ring." Then you're really in the flow because you have to really do it. Let's get to your mom because I know you want to talk to her. Grade school? She calls it grade school. Now, there's a teacher. It could be a grandma, but there's a teacher coming in. Anyone a teacher?
In my family, no.
No, Deborah is that. Oh, it's Deborah. All right.
No,
So
it's my
all right,
family.
let me do something different because her spirits are coming in strong. Deborah, I'm gonna ask, did I do your birthday numbers? No, let's do your birthday numbers.
No, but so speak to the teacher. This is like a weird thing. But my second grade teacher, who would be Mrs. Kispert, I don't know if she's living or dead, maybe, I don't know. My second grade teacher, Mrs. Kispert, how do I say, I'll have to explain this whole thing, but my mother eventually started working for her. Not when I had her as a teacher, but maybe like a year after.
Your mother was working for her. Okay. Because I heard, all right, let's go there. All right. Your mother
and the kids were close. Like they were, they were very good people and same values, etc.
Okay.
So
Let me go there.
Mrs. Kispert could have passed. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Don't forget, we're doing this in a fast level. That's why I was going to go to your numbers and cards, just because. All right, so let me see. Grade school. See, I'm getting your mom would be. She's a little quiet. She's not a big bold energy. Doesn't mean that's bad. It's just that she may say you first, or she's holds back a little. And she's giving a lot of people a turn. So I'm going to bring her in more. What is this? The kidney? Anybody have a problem with kidneys?
Not that I know of, no.
Is that Mary's people? Kidney? All right. Let me do since I'm getting too much of the other people, let me get, tell me your birthday, please. Okay.
January 8th.
Oh, very independent energy. You have a lot of leadership energy. For you, you'd be good at working on your own or having your own business. Do you?
No.
No? Is this something you ever wanted to do?
I thought of it, but
yeah,
no.
It's something because those numbers are two leadership numbers of the executive and the manager. Wow. And the one, you could do a lot of things on your own. You're in the 4 vibration. I added 1 and 8 to 2020. And the 4, is also the universal year. So we're all, it's about the budgets, restrictions. The 4 vibration was perfect for COVID because it's about the box between Zoom and being
right.
But it's foundations and it's about discipline. So that's the year you have. Next year, you have more freedom. And it happens to be the universal year 5. So you're going to be hit with both of it. Changes, freedom, more spontaneity, more people. So you're going to open up with that. We would say take a risk, even gamble, not your whole life, but here $20 on a slot machine or something, because we even say gamble on something or an idea. But it's a lot of fast paced, not the way this is. What's your year of birth?
68.
6. Okay. You have the home and family nurturing, the 6 life path. This is what you need to learn. The 1 could be, I have a lot of 1s. So the 1 could be too much in themselves. They don't realize it. But your 6, it's such a feeling and energy, but not just nurturing. Sometimes the 6 at a period of time, maybe in the youth, takes on the rebel. But you could even be good with real estate. Doesn't mean you do it for a living, but this is about the earth energies you have. The 8, yeah. Right. If you considered real estate, that would be kind of natural for you if you like it. But having a home and family is very important. Now, a lot of people say, but Joan, everybody has that. Well, I don't. I'm single. I have so many 1s in my energies. Oh my God, that I'm single, I live alone, so I don't have a big house. So that's an interesting thing. So a lot, you can't just say, well, everybody has a home and family and kids, because they don't. But for you, the structure of the home is important. Who's with the one with the smoothies? Or am I reading Mary?
The one with the smoothie that's living?
Smoothies. They're drinking smoothies.
Julia, if you're living.
It doesn't matter. Just I keep seeing a big shake. Yes or no?
Yeah, Julia drinks smoothies, if you want to call them smoothies, but yeah.
Like a drink of all this stuff, fruit, everything. All right. I keep hearing, I don't know who it is around you. Like, yes, a lot of people are upset about Christmas, but if you want to spend time with your friends and family, think about next year's going to be better. So let's not infect anyone. So someone's very upset about the Christmas. I'm just hearing that. So just say, let's do this as an adventure. Is there someone in your family upset over this? Not having a big family thing. Maybe it's a kid or something. I get someone upset.
I think it's my father-in-law.
Oh, father-in-law. Oh, okay, that's harder. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because he's older and he doesn't know. But make a special thing for him, even if it's on Zoom, okay? Because I do get, and also he lost his wife from last year. So yes, he does feel emotionally, it's not the same without her. And he's right, but maybe he needs a little bit support during this time, because emotionally it's very difficult for him, okay?
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah. And everything gets him right. You know, if you say let's make graham cookies, he's gonna be upset. If you don't make it, he'll be upset. But there's something here where it's, yeah, he's a nice guy. And there's a lady who coughs a lot, or a spirit. Oh, a lot of problems with the lung issues, coughing, phlegm, coughing. It's not, I don't think it's COVID, but there's a lot of this lung issue. Anybody?
It just recently passed?
It doesn't have to be recent. It could be 10 years ago. Lung issue.
Oh.
No? You have the lung issue? Hello?
Me?
Yeah. Okay. Now, sometimes I get calls the next day where people connect to who I'm talking about. And sometimes the spirit's very insistent. I had a seance. I think I did it at the Wainwright House. I said, I have a man who died in a motorcycle crash, and everybody said no. And I do a thing where we hold hands, do the circle. I always say, shake your root chakra, because we sit so long. So I'm about to close the circle. I did the 2 hours, and I said, oh, I'm sorry. The spirit won't let me. He wants to be acknowledged. It's a man who died in a motorcycle accident. And then the girl next to me said, actually, that's my brother. I said, well, why didn't you say before? Claim him. She said, because I came from my friend's young son who passed. So it was interesting, because even though she didn't want to focus on him, he was there, and he wouldn't let me close up unless someone said, he was saying hello, and it was so strong. It was really something. You could ignore one of these spirits knocking on the door saying, I'm here. And then when she talked, we did his message. We were able to close up shop. But and sometimes these people, you'll think later on, who was this pneumonia person. I think it's pneumonia that they're telling me. All right, but it may come up later on. And sometimes if we had a longer period, then we have more of these pictures and everything.
Right. Well, it's not been a recent passing, but my mother's friend died of pleurisy. This was like 25 years ago.
So that's okay.
But
if I'm opening the door, your mother comes. All the friends and the family come. Sometimes it's a big party, it's like, yeah. So that would make sense, that pleurisy, because that's fluid in the lungs. And it's also a connection to your mom. Because remember I told you mom's a little bit quiet in spirit to say, I'm here. So yes, she's with her friend. That's good to know that she's with a friend. Of course, she's with her mom and all those people. Did your mom's friend have a dog?
Not that I remember. I mean, we had a dog growing up, but before we used to my mother-in-law. I mean, maybe, in her,
All right.
not in this country, so maybe in her former country she had a dog. I would have to find out.
All right, let's not, the dog he keeps.
Irrelevant.
The dog keeps licking me. What can I say? We'll connect with the dog later. Very short.
She said the dog.
The dog's very friendly, and he's like, I know somebody here, so he's very insistent. All right.
I mean, if it's Sandy, then you'd have like a different connection. But if it's not, a little chihuahua, then I totally get it.
Okay. Who eats like a Mideastern food like tabbouleh or falafels? Anybody?
Who likes it? Who makes it?
I didn't. Either way, they're connected to that. The food.
I purchased it for my father-in-law. He's never had it before, but that was like a couple of years ago. Like I
so
bought it.
Discussion. All right, there was a discussion about that type of food with your father-in-law. All right, he comes up a lot. He's a bit lonely, and yeah, your son's doing. Your husband's doing the best he can with him. I get groaning and just pains in the belly. Oh boy. Anybody connects to this could be the name of a flower or somebody's name. Iris.
Iris?
No. Okay. Put it in the back of your mind. And sometimes as Mary talks about these symbols that you see, you may come in even 2 days from now and you get flowers and it's irises and you're like, oh, that's what, because I'm just seeing pictures, they're just flowing in. And I always talk about, the young people wouldn't know what this is, but in the old days we had photo albums and you would turn the page. So for me, I'll see a picture, and then if the client says, yeah, I connected that, I'll look at that picture in further detail. Okay. If not, I said, let me move on to the next picture. I have to realize I got to use modern terminology. I guess I have to say scroll. I'm scrolling.
Joan, what I can do is I can message her your information if she wants to connect to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Joan at Psychic Joan at Yahoo. Okay. And then my website is Psychic Joan Carra, CARRA.net. Deborah, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Deborah.
Have a better year next year, all of us.
Sending you, peace and hope and love, and thanks for joining us today. We've got to wrap this up now.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Joan.
Okay, have a great day. Bye, Deborah.
You too. Bye.
Wow, that was so interesting. And I pulled up a little chart here about numerology, about different numbers. I don't know if you can see it because I know you're on your phone. And we actually had someone from Zimbabwe who messaged us and said, can I get a reading? And then he said, I would love a short reading about love. His name's Rubabe. And then he said his birth date. Now, I'm not asking you to give him a reading. I'm just finding this fascinating. His birth date is 11/11. And
he's all about love and relationships, 2 master numbers. Oh my God.
Right. So I wanted to just bring that up because he wrote me so many messages on here during your conversation with Deborah. I don't know if you can go back to where you were before when you were talking, when she came on, you were going to flip cards. Now that you connected to her, can you reconnect and pull a card for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But, I'm honored that someone from Zimbabwe called. I want to thank him, but 11 represents idealism about love and partnership. So, of course, that's his question.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, interesting. All right.
He's watching right now, so he heard everything he said. or
Oh,
she.
he's
I'm,
idealistic.
thinking that it's
Maybe he can make
a man, but maybe not.
well, you know what? I'm getting a little bit, life has its ups and downs. I think it's more of your child is a concern. Like you're going to do more teaching and studying, which is great. But I see, oh, it's the kids. The kids, one child is in school, right?
Yes. Anastasia is in college.
Yeah, but she's having a tough time because of the restrictions. But in one sense, good is going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the children feels they want to move, but they can't. Is that any connection to that?
Are you talking about?
It seems like your kids are coming up.
Yeah.
Your kids are coming up, and
I have 3 kids.
oh, okay. These
That's
also,
why. They're so prominent in my life.
I got it. You're an empath. You're here to you give and you serve to a lot of people, but some people are you're finding that your reservoir of healing people there's a lot for you to heal right now for other people, even a husband, an ex, or whatever. But there's something about moving, and it could even be you. Somebody's talking about moving. It's going to take a while, but they feel. How do I put it? I know it's COVID, and you could say that's too general, but
no, it's not. You're actually you might be accurate, and I don't want to. I don't want to hear about it. That's why I don't want to. I don't want to hear about anybody moving.
Well, no, they want to move, but they can't.
Right. Okay. So that's true. He just was saying. My son was talking about moving the other day.
Right. Okay. That's it.
That's why. And he actually was. It's been on my mind that he kept saying that, and I was like, "You're not moving." Just
right. Well, he can't right now, but he would like, oh, maybe Colorado. He wants to just travel and see the world. Now, there's somebody with the throat. Oh, you were doing no. Wait. It sounds funny, tonsils or something like that. So throat issues, and that's the throat chakra about expressing. I let me get more to you, but that was just something so like heavy. I know that I had to do that. Let me see what else is happening. He's a little depressed. He wants to make money and be active. I think he's more of an outdoor person.
Are you sure that you're talking about my son and not somebody else?
Is that an outdoor person? All right.
No, I think you're talking about someone else. You're describing someone else. So,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. The good news is, wow, anything to do about healing, these opportunities where very powerful energy, opportunities for healing. There may even be one of your kids. Anybody with this, not healing of the spiritual aspect, maybe nursing or psychotherapy. Anybody around you who studied that formally?
That studied that?
Or wants to? It comes up.
Well, I have I have a friend who's a nurse. Or she's in nursing. But
did you anything to do with healing comes up? But as a in the more not the holistic healing, the other kind. All right. I don't know if one of your kids is going to do it or.
No, I don't think one of my kids is going to do it.
All right.
They're not interested in that.
But I'm
the only healing person.
I don't know if they change at 30 or 35, they're young.
Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, my daughter, my youngest, has got a lot of my skill set. She's empathic as well. And she's getting she's getting premonitions and light energy.
Yeah,
and
maybe it's her, but you'll do well with that. And you're going to make, this is a beautiful card. You have the double red 9, which is the card, focus. So your dreams can come true, but so there's a goal achieved for you, okay? And this is when we go, yes. So the goal achieved, and it happens to, it is with financial gain and career. So there is going to be more money. Yeah. So it is an abundance or something where you're working so hard that now you get your recognition, you get your abundance. there's something for you to purchase. Money comes in where you actually, it's a major purchase.
Good. I like
you.
that.
It's not you, and I know as a parent, money comes in, it's for the kids, right? But it's going to be for you. Now, there's also a place, it's a beach place that you like going to spiritually, Virginia Beach or something. There's some kind of not a resort, like a metaphysical center that's.
Well, you might be seeing that almost every day I walk down to the beach, and there's a boardwalk, and you might be seeing that. But then again, I'm also having visions and manifesting locations that, are resort-esque or Caribbean, beautiful beaches. You might just be collecting that vibration.
But I think you're going to buy something or at least spend some time. Now you have kids, so it's not like you're going to stay I have 3 months. It could be 2 weeks if you're lucky. But it's a metaphysical center by the water, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And not the Wainwright House. I know that's nearby, but it's someplace where I keep hearing like Virginia Beach. That's Edgar Casey. You don't have to go there, but there's some connection with maybe teaching. Don't forget, you have incredible gifts with knowledge and wisdom and healing
That's nice.
But you can go any place.
You're sweet.
Whenever I want a vacation, I do the work. I send out a proposal to an interesting place. When you said about the place in Sedona, so all right. Now sometimes it's not so easy because you got to pay for everything. I'm paying for the room. I'm paying for the PR, but
So Joan, before because we're our time's almost up. Could you just tell me if you have any male and I don't want to get too emotional, any male figures for me that come through spirit wise?
Okay, remember when we started, before we you hit the the live, there was the man with salt and peppered hair. Do you know anyone in spirit like that? An older man? Even the age 50, he's not 80. All right, let me get the people in spirit for you. They came up, they weren't supposed to, so let's see. Like a gray blue eyes. Does that connect to you? And let me get more physical. And he wore a tie, so he had to go to work with a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Versus casual Friday. I keep hearing plumbing. He's not a plumber, but do you have to check the plumbing in your house, or did this man you had in your house?
Well, we have there's someone who passed who's involved in plumbing. Yes.
Okay, is that the person you wanted, or you?
No, that's somebody else, but he's very close to our family. He's part of our family.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But that's not. But I was looking towards hearing about my. I won't tell you.
You want to, but the man connects to the person you're looking for, right?
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, he doesn't.
My kids.
All right, you got a lot of people. You're like, let's have a party. These like everyone's coming in. But let me get in who you want, okay? Jim, going to the gym.
That's my father's name. His name was Jim.
Oh, good. So Jim is who you want?
Yeah, Jim.
Okay, good. Let me talk to Jim. He came in. I'm glad the name came in. Oh, he's the one with all these beautiful flowers. Did you ever buy flowers for your mother or something? Or flowers are here. All right, let me talk to Jim. And he wore the tie for work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the plumber didn't, but the man with the tie. Okay. Did he have the salt and pepper?
Well, I mean, towards the end, his hair stayed dark forever.
Yeah, my dad too. And I was like, we used to think, did he put shoe polish in his hair?
There was some gray coming through, but
so it could be maybe it's someone else. All right, let me talk to your dad. He says, there's a birthday coming up in December in your family. Who is it?
His birthday just passed.
Oh, December?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good, because he showed me the birthday cake. Oh, and you all thought about it. You all thought about his Oh, he was there. In a way, it was like a family reunion. Oh, Dad's birthday, and then it's kind of like, yeah. And he wanted to continue education more. Like he had to stop, or he wanted to go to further education, but didn't. He was working.
I'm not sure about that. That's a possibility. I know that he was pretty set in his job, but I mean, I don't know so much. There was so many things that I don't know. He wasn't,
Your dad.
he
All
wasn't
right.
an open book.
Is it you or somebody? Well, you were always studied, so you don't need any, you don't need a formal degree, but, I mean, you don't need like, 4 years of studying, healing. You don't need to do that because you're always doing it. But there's somebody here who says, I had to stop, but I wanted to get further education. All right. Let's put that, and you'll figure it out later. Oh, he goes, Mary, you're my angel. You're the angelic kid. But there was a tough time, maybe when you were a teenager or 13, a little bit emotional things were a little difficult for you. Your dad was aware of that. I don't know if there was some turmoil in the family or something. It doesn't mean a negative. It could have been, oh, you were moving, you didn't want to move. But something like that he talks about. And he says, he talks about your son. I don't know if he looks like your son or you connect. Of course, he connects to all the grandchildren, but there's something about your son. There's certain traits you may see.
Mm-hmm.
And what does your son want, a car, or but there's no place to go, even if you have a car. Your son isn't doing well in lockdown.
You're funny.
Right.
I'm just listening. Whoa.
Now, your dad says, I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it was your dad. Look at the math, the budget, the bookkeeping. Anybody with a
He's
number?
obsessed with that. He would say it to me now. He'd be horrified by me. He'd be so
all the dads
horrified.
I think every dad is a numbers person, and it's kind of funny that oh my God, they were all like, "You didn't save your money? Is that crazy?" All right, so he's looking at that.
That's why when you said that I'm gonna have financial success, and then all these other positive things, I'm like, aces for that. I want to hear that.
Yeah. But it comes from, you're a very idealistic, giving person. And how do I put it? The psychics, when I was saying, like, all right, so I get the job in Sedona, but I have to pay for the room and the ad and the now luckily, hopefully I'm a former bookkeeper, so I could do the taxes. That's all a business expense, but still an expense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're gonna like, oh, she went to all these places, but and you could put that on your taxes, and the rest of the trip, you're gonna go see the Grand Canyon or whatever. But realize that it's, I hope that
until I get where I want to get. I have an end game, and I'm going. I'm doing.
No, we know that because you have. I think you had. What was your birthday again?
8/15.
The 8. Yeah, you had the 8. The 8 is goals and one step at a time. And you're lucky you have the 8 because it grounds you. And yeah, you're the business plan type, but you're not going to call it business. You're going to call it, it's my spiritual plan, but it is business. I taught a class called The Business of Being a Practitioner, and it took me years before anyone wanted me to do it. That's not spiritual. I said, yes, it is. My friend Louis, the flower reader, he's had a book called Even Mystics Have to Pay the Rent. It was kind of funny. All right. So for you, your dad is saying you got to start looking at the budget. So look at and make sure, like, if you have, if you get any of the pandemic money saving. Now you have 3 kids, so money goes out the window. But it looks like the kids are, some are working and
exactly, they're fine. More like at this point in my life, I'm focused on me and what I have to do and take care of me, and because I really spent so much time nurturing and guiding and giving love and being maternal to my kids. So now for me, it's just about the career, but I have to we have to close this show.
We can always keep going later.
But
right?
let me just say, Joan, you are so much fun. This was super exciting. I really appreciate how you went through the ins and outs of this and you just took on a caller. So let's just talk before we go. You give phone sessions.
Right now, phone, I can't because of COVID.
Right.
But the phone is just as good because, you know, first of all, I don't have to clean the house. But no, I got
you're cleaning the house and giving a reading.
So,
okay, and I see Uncle Sam. Okay, so your website is Psychic Joan Carra.
CARRA.net.
.net. And it's on this post. You have an Instagram, Psychic Joan Carra. Am I saying it right, Kiara? How do you say your last name?
Carra.
Carra. Okay, I butcher words. Psychic Joan Carra. Your Facebook is Joan Carra. Your YouTube page is Joan Carra as well.
I haven't even looked at my YouTube page for a while, but I should. I have to get all that.
I saw it reading.
And I just want to say, I worked in radio, and I was so impressed with this woman that we're doing an audio check, a sound check, a video check. She was doing her voice techniques before going on. You are a professional.
Thank you.
And I was impressed because
I want to get to network. Okay, so is there any? So you're teaching Edgar Cayce classes.
Edgar Cayce Center we're going to do a Zoom. It's very exciting. We have an astrologer and a tarot reader and me doing the numerology. We're doing predictions for 2021. Okay. I forgot to look up the date. You'll have to go to Edgar Cayce Center, New York City for the date, January, maybe 15th in the mid. And then in February, I think it's February 6th, Saturday, the New Life Expo. And I meant to type up and just hold a piece of paper with all that, but I forgot to do it.
Well, you know what? They can find you on your website.
Yeah.
They can email you at psychicjoan@yahoo.com.
Perfect.
And they can always find you on Facebook. I mean, you're on Facebook. I am so grateful and I appreciate this in the holiday season right before our Christmas this week. And I hope that you'll come back. And
Yeah.
Okay, and I
looked at the new camera tripod that has the light and could do vertical, so the phone won't fall like it did before.
Okay. Well, I love it. Thank you so much for all of your readings and guidance and fun, interesting conversation.
And Mary, you're writing another book.
Am I writing another book? Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? You talked about when we'll meet for coffee in Greenwich.
Yeah.
And I'll bring you your own dream journal. I'll bring you one of these. I have a dream journal that I wrote. So I'll bring you one of these and you can write down your dreams.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Happy holidays. Bye.
You too. Happy holidays.
Okay, that was great. I got so much information, and we're going to do the gemstone because we're way past time. This is the Amazonite. It's a greenish stone. Healing benefits, properties include help with physical and emotional ailments, chakra balancing, the 7 chakras, especially for the heart chakra, heals trauma, gives a soothing environment, calms nervous system and brain. The Amazonite is a soothing stone. It balances masculine and feminine energies, maintaining optimum health. It is beneficial in osteoporosis, tooth decay, calcium deficiency, and calcium deposits. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Next week's show, we have a Bigfoot Sasquatch investigator, Rick Relays, and he will be joining us and telling us all about his experiences. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Please like my Facebook page Mary Amy Official, Twitter if you can, my Instagram, and you can contact me at maryamyofficial.com. Let's construct only positive thoughts, words, and actions. Happy holidays. Enjoy Christmas. Bye.